entrepreneur. This is Mark Newsom, Mr. Marketing. Welcome to this special presentation entitled 7 Basic Copywriting Tips Every Beginner Should Know About. Ladies and gentlemen, you ignore these 7 proven copywriting tips and your hard-earned money is probably at risk. So here's the deal, entrepreneur. If nothing else, let your copywriting simply be a reflection of your take-no-prisoners customer service attitude, and you'll be light years ahead of the game and your major competitors. In other words, instead of struggling trying to figure out how to sell something, write from a standpoint of serving your best customers and clients, and you'll find that the copywriting part of it is a whole lot easier, less tedious, and less time consuming. So let's take a look at proven copywriting tip number 1. Whenever possible, I want you to use the following 3 proactive, persuasive power words, if you will, to help you move your prospect closer to the desired action that you're after. Here's the first one. How much? How much more peace of mind will you have when you have the state-of-the-art shock absorbers safely installed on your car? See how that might work? Here's the next one. Only. For only $77 or X, these 4 Brazilian silk ties can now be yours. What do you think, gentlemen? And finally, how would? How would you feel knowing you're just one misconstrued word away from a major lawsuit? So you see how they may help you out? Here's proven copywriting tip number 2. Ladies and gentlemen, do yourself an extremely big favor. When it comes to reading extremely long copy like you're reading here, do yourself and your readers a favor. You see how that's all jumbled together like that? Entrepreneur, if you're going to write really long copy, make sure you give it a lot of space in between breaks. And don't write more than 3 or 4 sentences. Have maybe 1 or 2. This is if you're going to do long copy. 2 or 3 sentences, a break, 2 breaks. 2 sentences, a break. So in other words, make the elephant look edible. There's nothing worse than getting an email and this copy is all jumbled together in one long continuous blob. That's a turn off and you're going to lose your readers. Don't do it. Here's proven copywriting tip number 3. Write first, entrepreneur, and edit second. In other words, don't stifle your creative juices by trying to edit as you write. Don't do it. Write everything out first and then go back and pick and choose what really fits that particular subject that you're talking about and what doesn't. And here's the other thing in terms of the pruning process. Save everything. Because what you'll find when you go back, your mind gets clear, you come up and say, hey, wait a minute, you know what, this would make a second blog post on a completely different subject, or it might make a great video, or it might make a podcast or a special report or all of the above at some point. So hold on to all of it because it all has potential value. But the main thing you want to do is write first and then go back and edit. Do not try to edit as you write, because if you do, you're going to spend 5 hours on something that could have taken 30 or 45 minutes or less. Write first, edit second. Here's proven copywriting tip number 4. Ladies and gentlemen, write just like you talk. You know, if you're talking to a close friend or a relative, now let's be crystal clear here. Stay away from slang. But write just like if you and I were sitting across the table having lunch. Let's say I had hired you and you're just saying, hey, Mark, here's what you can expect. Here's what you can't expect. This is the way it's going to go, etc., etc. And we're just sitting there enjoying a slice of pizza and we're just talking. This kind of conversational writing it connects you on a much deeper level with your particular niche audience. And there's something else that's very, very powerful when you do this, ladies and gentlemen. If you're having trouble getting in front of the camera. You know, everybody has a little phobia the first time you're being videotaped. Try reading your copy and using voice inflection where you think voice inflection would work. And do this a couple of times, and a couple of things will happen. Number one, you get a lot more relaxed. Nobody's looking at you. They can't see you. But here's something that just sort of happens on a subconscious level. When you go back to do a video, you'll find that you're much more relaxed and the real you can come out. So I challenge you to write your copy out and then read it into a microphone. Record yourself, in other words. Now, the first couple of times you do it, you're still going to be critical and looking at your words, and you're all wound up. But once you do it a couple of times and play it back, and you see where, you know what, I could have put better voice inflection there, and this, that, and the other. And after you do it a couple of times, then go back and videotape yourself. Guaranteed, you'll be much more relaxed. Here's proven copywriting tip number 5. Whenever possible, keep your copy short and concise. Now you say, wait a minute, Mark, just a minute ago you said don't edit, write everything out. Yes. Now once you've done that, make sure that, like a defense attorney or a prosecutor, now you only want to have material that's relevant. So you get rid of all the filler. So it's concise and it's tight. It doesn't matter how long it actually is. It's just got to be concise. You want to get rid of the filler. Here's proven copywriting tip number 6. After you've done your first or final draft or your 15th draft, ask yourself, what, if anything, can you add to this article, special report, podcast, whatever? In other words, what can you do to help your reader better understand the content? Remember how I said originally you want to have that sort of customer service approach? That's what I'm talking about here. In fact, when you write an article or a special report, pretend that you're doing this for a close friend or a relative. Would you charge them for it? Probably not. You just give it to them, right? In other words, you would give them the full enchilada. Now, I'm not saying give away your information. I mean, obviously, you know, when you lead generate, you do give stuff away. But what I'm saying is when you write from the standpoint that you're just talking to a friend and you're just sharing something with them. But instead of you talking to them, it's going down on paper. Or, you know, your keyboard in this case if you're doing it and putting it up on your blog. Now here's proven copywriting tip number 7. Entrepreneur, don't ask why, but it's been tested over and over again by the big boys and girls who make a lot of money. For some odd reason, whenever you're price testing, use the figure 7 and you're going to be better off. For example, take a notice to how many ebooks, special reports, audio courses, full-blown courses that start or end with the number 7. If it's a single digit, they'll have a $7 audio product, a $7 ebook, you know, as an OTO, one-time only offer. If it's a 2-digit number, might be 27, 37, 47, 77, or the higher end, 97. If it's a 3-digit number, it might be 297 or all the way up to 997. But do you see how they're all end in 7? There's a reason for that, ladies and gentlemen. Don't swim upstream. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. 7 proven copywriting tips that will help transform you into a winner. So for those of you who want to take it to the next level and discover how to add an additional 25% more gross profit to your bottom line in the next 90 days or less without having to add any new customers or clients, then entrepreneur, you need that free 9-page special report. And all you got to do to get it is go to youcanmarketonlinenow.com/sales. This is Mark Newsom, Mr. Marketing. Looking forward to being with you again next time on the Marketing Minute.